Now I don't even know if I'm actually live or not because Restream.io is it's got coronavirus apparently.
So put the camera on me.
I try not to.
Try not to. Can we do a puzzle piece size comparison? Because these are normal pieces. And this is the puzzle I just started.
That's like a weird shape too. It's got so many sides.
Right? I don't understand what this is.
Huh. That's gonna just make it really hard.
I know.
You're fudged.
The coronavirus will.
Absolutely flummoxed.
Oh, look, these are already put
Hey, Grant.
together. And the backs are weird. They're like raised.
Let me see. Oh, that looks like denim or something.
Yeah, it's weird.
Justin's doing a puzzle. A new puzzle. She finished her cat puzzle and then destroyed it.
Finished both of them.
And the other one, and now she's doing a movie puzzle.
So
Thick.
Thick.
Tick. Thick piece of puzzle. I don't know. Oh wow, I have 7 viewers.
Wow.
And I didn't even publish this link like 3 hours in advance. Dude, just look at what like Restream is just like not working. Whatever, I don't care. At least it's streaming, so got that going, which is nice. Show the puzzle when it's partway done. The cats are just screaming at each other.
What?
This may or may not be a CW exercise. This might kind of turn out to be the same kind of stream as last night because I've had 1 or 2 or 3 too many and to really be coherent. But man, I can ramble and rant all day long. I gotta put my handy dandy. Oh man, I have trash just lying around everywhere. Speed her up. Tonight's a fast night.
Where's the trash?
It's out of sight, out of mind.
Where's the trash can behind you?
It's out of sight, out of mind. The trash can is behind me, so I don't see it.
Oh my god.
Oh, hang on. What is going on here? That's a little better. Sounds kind of rough today. I don't know. I spilled beer all over it, so maybe that's why it's having a problem. It's fine though. It's a little tangled up with these other wires. And there we go. No. I am not out of toilet paper. I still have this from last night. And I think I have at least 6 rolls in the house. But I'm not
6?
I'm not well, there's 4 downstairs and probably 2 or 3 up here.
How many are in the
Well,
closet?
these are the 4 from downstairs.
What?
How many are in the closet? We're also not monsters who like we don't poop that much. Like, geez, and when we do, it's like we use a minimal amount of, man, this stream is going to be like this. I want to buy a bidet. Everyone in America should buy a bidet. It just makes sense and it makes your butt cleaner.
There's 10 upstairs. We're okay.
We've got 10 rolls of toilet paper. We're okay. Justin, my wife, did go to the store, but
it was like a war zone.
it was an atrocity. But honestly, got an email from Walt Disney World.
Saying they're closed?
Something about pass holder something or
They're
another.
extending our annual passes for the amount of days they're closed.
Yes. Nice.
So we could probably go over Labor Day now.
Oh. Labor Day's in September. Wow.
Well, I mean before that as well, but
Yeah.
my point is our passes will be valid through Labor Day, which previously they were not. Because we got them last August.
Absolutely excellent. A bidet is a stream of water that cleans your butt when you poop.
You asked me if I wanted one for my birthday.
And I asked Justin because she didn't like the weighted blanket that I got her, even though she wanted it earlier in the year. She actually got it and was like, maybe this isn't it. But a bidet is the perfect gift for your significant other because,
It is
oh
not.
my
It
gosh,
is not the perfect gift.
it is the best thing
I'm
you
here
can
to
do.
tell you.
Well, it's a perfect gift for me. So I went to Thailand. Let me turn on my video. I went to Thailand in 2017, 2016 for the New Year's. Or 17, 18.
17, 18.
Where's the
17, 18.
the full moon party?
17, 18.
That thing right there is our badges or our wristbands for the full moon party at in Thailand, which was crazy. Which is 2018, which means 2017, 2018.
Yes.
Anyway, they use bidets there. They don't use fancy bidets like this. I think this is something you'd probably see in like Japan and
You
Korea.
remember when we were in Tokyo Airport and they had the fancy bathroom?
In the Tokyo airport, they had something like with a thing with buttons and heated seats and all that stuff. But like the rest of that world uses literally cheap bidets. It's like literally a
shower sprayer.
one of those things that's in your sink.
Oh, to wash dishes.
Yeah, like this to wash your dishes. That's literally what they had just next to the toilet. It literally does the same thing. It was cold, but
They
like
said, do not wash your feet.
do not wash your feet. Well, yes, don't do that. But it got the job done really well, and they did have toilet paper, but it's not for the sole purpose of cleaning thine self in thine nether regions. It's for wiping yourself dry from the bidet's work on you. Like, this is disgusting. But you get what I'm saying. Like, why are people freaking out over toilet paper? Because the Western world doesn't realize how to actually be clean. I obviously don't have a bidet yet. That's why I'm looking for one, and I'd honestly just install one of these. Like, I mean, this is literally what it looked like in Thailand. Even cheaper than that. Like the handle was attached to the toilet refill line instead of like fancy this out, in a nice little chrome attachment in the wall. Hopefully this doesn't. Perfect. Yes, that is exactly. Except the drain wasn't there. What is this? There's no. This is all still safe for work. Think for crying out loud. But that literally was it, and it worked so well. But this is like luxury. For $300, you can get this thing with like heated this and that, and you can point the stream, and it's automatic. And oh man, the world needs to like come to a new conclusion.
Did your followers come here for a bidet talk, or?
Did my followers come here for a bidet talk? No, I don't really know why they're here. I just turned on the stream because I thought, it's about 7. I can go learn Morse code, but I don't think it'll be really effective because of Mr. Corona Extra.
Where's your Corona beer?
Well, it's in the trash. Because they weren't actually cold, so I got some. Where'd he go? Oh, Charlie just jumped out.
Because you scared him.
I made a noise. All right, reading the chat. Coronavirus text messaging. Or maybe texting after the collapse. That's what I did last night. I donned the stupid mask and the dumb... I actually had gloves on earlier today, unironically, because my knuckles have gotten so wrecked from washing my hands so much and using so much hand sanitizer that they started bleeding. Like, look at this, yeah.
No one wants to see your bleeding knuckles.
Like, it's just a little spot. Like, but look how dry they were. And so what I did, literally this, I put on vitamin A and D ointment, which is this really stinky and thick ointment that's really good for your skin and repairing that like damage. Not lotion, because lotion doesn't do this as well as AD ointment, but it smells really bad. And I put my gloves, like not blue nitrile gloves, on to keep it from kind of ruining surfaces and stinking, and to keep it from to basically rehydrate my skin. And it worked wonders. So now I'm like, I mean, it's a little crusty now, but it's gotten a lot better than before. You tweeted the stream. Let's see if people come over. Oh no. Maybe I should actually have to learn Morse code and like gotta pull up learn CW online. All of the toilet paper is manufactured domestically, I'd argue. Like, there's very little toilet paper in America that is made outside of the country. So the supply chains are all in order. I have a friend who's my brother-in-law's girlfriend works at Georgia Pacific, And there's no problems there, especially because they supply to hotels and stuff. They're actually getting less demand in the hotel industry and the business industry, the business to business industry, and a little more demand in obviously the consumer industry to direct to retail. And the problem is like they're ramping up production a little bit, but it's not like they're out of toilet, like the supply chain is not out of toilet paper. The store shelves are out of toilet paper because they're bulky items, but in the back they have tons of it, especially in like Costco and stuff. And the bottleneck is like the amount of people who can bring new stuff to the shelves, and once those go out, it's the bottleneck of deliveries from the manufacturer to the store. It's not like we're running out of toilet paper because there's stupid people who think that face masks, since they're made of paper mostly, I think they're made of paper. I think this one's mostly actually like plastic, polyester, nylon or something. But like surgical masks are made of paper. Therefore, well, they're gonna need to make more masks, and now they're gonna need to. Toilet paper is made out of paper, and so are masks. Buy toilet paper. Stupid mother cluckers. Like.
You know what else is made out of paper?
What?
Paper.
Yeah. There's no run on engineering paper. What gives? I don't even know. This is what I do last night. Or napkins. Or paper towels for that matter. It's just toilet paper.
There actually was a run on paper towels.
Oh, paper towels, really?
They were running out. I think people were buying them for toilet paper replacements. You should not.
No. Do not use toilet or paper towels as toilet paper because you'll clog up your septic system and make some plumbers very angry.
Told me you couldn't even use Kleenex. It doesn't break down the same way.
Yeah, no. Toilet paper is designed to just kind of disintegrate in the water. So no, I didn't go there recently. I actually got my typhoid, I got yellow fever and tetanus shots before I went to Thailand. But I was all good. Justin actually split her knee open because she fell on a ledge at a pizza restaurant right at the Full Moon party. And there was fortunately a 7-Eleven down the street that had like hand sanitizer, had gauze, had wipes, had Band-Aids, because this is like an unreal party of people who get unfathomable levels of every kind of inebriated, not just like alcohol, but just...
They have the one restaurant that sells the magic mushrooms. We did not partake.
And whippets, but we did not partake in that. We just got buckets of alcohol and had a really fun night. But... in a responsible night. And but yeah, they actually stocked well, and this was before we started having fun. This was like around midnight, and bleeding all over the restaurant.
Oh God. My blood was everywhere.
It was everywhere, but she was fine. Didn't get infected.
It was a trooper.
And she was a trooper. So yeah. We have the sprays and toilets used for reusable diapers for the kids. That's another thing. Like, people back in the day used cloth, like, for wiping their butt. Like, it's not a problem there. Poop washes just fine in the washing machine, just like dirt. And your own excrement is not going to immediately come back and give you disease. It's the problem of other people. That's why back in the day, in the plague, and like back in like the 1800s, where like 1917 whatever hundreds, where people just threw it out into the street, people would get sick because it would fester, and you get all of this disease, pathogen, vectors. But on your own self, I'm not saying like the George Carlin style of what did he say in his thing a long time ago? He was built. He was hardened in raw sewage. I have to look up the George Carlin. This is also a really good video I've been watching. Yeah. Go watch this.
One more way of reducing your liberty, because you're fucking weak and you got a fucking weak immune system. Besides, what do you think you're doing this and spraying that, and they swab your arm with and hygiene?
I gotta find the spot.
Constantly running stories about all the latest infections, saying that, and my colon. There's no non-looking germs of any kind. Reconnoitering my assault rifles with night vision and laser scopes. Soccer riot. I don't shy away from people who sneeze and cough. I don't wipe off the telephone. I don't cover the toilet seat. And if I drop food on the floor, I pick it up and eat it. A prayer. We were tempered in raw shit. So.
That's the words. He was saying that you guys got to watch the George Carlin. I know I spelled it wrong up there, but they would swim in the Hudson River or somewhere near Chicago. I think it was the Hudson River, which back in his day was literally sewage, and they wouldn't get sick because immunity. Like, it's just a thing. Kids don't get sick because they are constantly exposed to things that make them immune, and that's one side of the story. And I'm not saying like go out and rub your face full of coronavirus because you're going to build immunity. But the thing is, people like your grandpa and your grandma and your mom who's in, intensive care having pneumonia, and your mother-in-law who has, immunocompromised like disorders, those people are going to die if they get coronavirus. So try not to get coronavirus in the first place. But in times when there is not pandemic, it's not actually a terrible idea to send your kids out into the backyard, play around in dirt, bring them to school. Don't worry about their hands. Don't worry about their hygiene in general, in terms of like, oh, you better be washing your hands every 5 minutes, and you better have this hand sanitizer. Like they get dirty and they build immunity, and that's just the way that immunity works. There is truth to that. There is science to that, but it isn't the science of people thinking like, well, yeah, I can just build an immunity from coronavirus if I just go and get it. Well, some people can't. And the kids who have immunity from things like mild coronaviruses that cause colds, and rhinoviruses that cause colds, and things like chicken pox, it's very mild in young and kids, but the adults have also built those immunities as well. But then a novel coronavirus comes by. That's why it's NCOV2 or NCOV, novel coronavirus. Nobody has immunity, so it affects older people ridiculously hard. Well, so Josh, I know you tweeted out, but like 7 people. You only have 7 followers. I feel bad for you, son. Push comes to shove, we're using printer paper. Oh man. All right. Let's struggle through some code groups again and try to do more than 3, for crying out loud. Not good. Very not good. I missed a whole character set. I missed the whole first character set. That's the worst character set to miss by a long shot. Sorry to roast you, Josh. Twitter, though, does have quite a large amount of hams. It's where I've been like, wow, good job typing. Good job typing again. Tweet, W-I, tweet. Don't even need to type the whole thing. So I've been like talking about another things. And Josh, you said this too. I need a straw for my Corona to keep my mask on. I legitimately took your idea. I wrote it down on my notebook that's tied to my headphones somehow. Make video on how to drink beer through mask. But I'm not going to do that because, I mean, I guess I could try, but like I'm out of beer. It's all empty now. It's probably a good thing. And generally, there's some pretty good folk on there. Although Twitter now, 100% of Twitter is coronavirus, and that's just what it is. They follow along. Oh, hey, there you go, retweet. I do this thing on Twitter where if you are a ham, and I don't care what kind of ham you are or what kind of person you are, if you are a ham, you say, like, if you have something in here that says you're a ham, I follow you. Follow. Especially if you follow me. That's good. I actually know this guy. Follow. And if you are a ham who contributes nothing to Twitter but either right wing or left wing or some kind of wing politics or just is irrelevant to the interests of my life, I unfollow. But typically Twitter does a good job of like not really putting politics into my stream. So I got some wood stacks from K7AG, ham radio, and Jerry Ellsworth, who's ham, also a great Twitter friend. I don't know who this is, but it's somebody who's ham who retweeted something, but things like that I don't really care. But if it's consistent where it's just like on top of the thing, this is hilarious. Toilet paper seeds. Somebody made $100,000 on selling Lysol wipes. They bought for cheaper before the virus outbroke in America. They bought like a whole truckload of a pickup truckload of Lysol wipes, and they sold them for $100,000. Stuff like this I don't like mind. This is current events, but if it's like, well, Trump is the best person in the world, he's doing great for the economy, he's the god emperor, like trolls and people who don't have common sense. Like, I'm not saying Trump is well,
you're gonna lose all your ham followers.
Oh, my ham followers are gonna leave if I diss on Trump. I try not to be. I am apolitical, but effective tonight.
We all know what you really think.
Agree to see the thing. The thing with this is like Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, MSC, the even the Disney cruise line. They have not agreed to suspend outbound cruises to anyone. They have suspended outbound cruises because that's on their own accord. Because everyone's canceling, everyone doesn't want to go. They don't want to deal with the liability of people getting sick on that boat and literally doing the same thing that the Crown Princess or the Royal Princess that was anchored offshore of California for a while, because literally the America didn't want to crank our numbers by double by putting them on mainland. Like, that's why coronavirus has its own little category for the cruise ship that got infected. It's just nuts. But yeah, that's my Twitter, and there's a problem. This might be pre-planned before we typically buy in bulk before. Sure you do. But yeah, I like ham radio conversation on Twitter. You know where I don't like ham radio conversation? CQ contest server. No, list, reflector. I don't know how to actually get to it. Archives, thread. This thread, holy cow, it's gotten even bigger. Also, this is a PSA. Hams have no idea how to keep the same conversation in the same thread reply system. They will like now this thing will say, let me turn off the browser. This thing says it keeps everything in a line, but if I go to my email, and I won't show you my email because reasons, private reasons, it just totally, like, people put in different subject lines. What is it called when like somebody orphans? It's orphaning, I think it's what it's called, when somebody like doesn't put in the right subject line. It's just like annoying. But anyway, this thread just, holy cow, starts off with Ed Sawyer in one uniform radio. W2RE is a fellow YouTuber, Twitch streamer, and also a Facebook streamer who does very, very regularly streams on of contesting. And it got around that he won. Well, so far as contest rumors go, 3830scores.com is where you post your score when you finish a contest. It's not the official scores, but it's like, how did everyone do before they scored? So W2RE, he operated remotely, and he has so far scored many thousands of points over the next person. And everyone on this server is like, he must have done that. He must have won because he streamed his contest to the World Wide Web, and therefore he solicited contacts by streaming. And so the explanation for why he did so much better is that he streamed, which I don't buy for a hot second. So I'm in here just like saying, this doesn't seem right. I'm here, and I think that was it. I was done. Like, everyone here has a negative opinion on streaming in there's a cat in contesting in ham radio because they think it gives them an unfair advantage against the other streamer or the other competitors because it solicits or relays their contact over the internet. And there's some merit. Say a contester comes in and they're calling CQ, and a search and pounce operator, somebody finding them, trying to look for them or trying to operate them, can't actually hear them, but they know they're streaming. They can go to their stream, listen for their QSO, and if W2RE actually hears them on the radio, the other operator can literally make a QSO without hearing his contact through the stream, but only hearing it through the stream. But that is not very likely, because typically these streams are held up at like a 30-second delay. Mine is held at a very low delay because I have it set to as minimum as possible, so I can see chat and be like, and you can also see chat, boop, pop in and all that stuff. And so far, the only guidance or the only thing that we as in the streamers have kind of figured out is what not to do is to post your frequency on stream. But they're saying that, well, somebody in chat posted the frequency. Well, W2RE is not responsible for what other people say. In fact, here's my argument. If you post if you're streaming and you have the display on screen and you have, say, N1MM up and it shows the band map, not your frequency, but it shows like all of the other stations online and it shows your call sign, does that mean you're self-spotting? The rules are you can't self-spot. Self-spotting means you can't say to the server, you can't start calling CQ and say to the DX cluster, hey, I'm on 3830. Come work me, single-sided band, whatever, on the contest. Because that gives you an unfair advantage. The idea is that other stations can spot you so that you get more contacts, you get more points and whatever. That's the whole DX cluster thing, which really... it's a DX cluster, not a contest cluster. And I'm an old man for saying that. A lot of people, when this came about, they had fits about it, but then it just got morphed into contesting. It became a contest tool. So you could find and quickly activate or operate multipliers in other stations to increase your score. And so that's why there's new categories like assisted. Unassisted is not using the contest, the DX cluster. Now, that's not to say, like Josh is saying, people definitely cheat. If you're unassisted and you use the contest cluster or DX cluster, you're cheating. If you're unassisted and if you're anything and you use an external receiver to like find stations, that is cheating. But is live streaming cheating? Is it your responsibility or is it your liability, if you will? And this isn't like a legal thing. There's no laws. It's just contesting. Is it your fault or are you liable for being disqualified if you're posting your stream and you stream along and somebody comes by and sees your stream and that entices them to come find you and work you? They might type in W2RE in this DX Watch or in DX Summit and do that sort of thing to work you because they want to be able to hear themselves, or they're a fan or something like that. Now this is it's a given that W2RE never said come work me, I'm operating. Like he's just there doing his thing. Like let me show you what what he's doing. I gotta find the email from Frank. First email. Frank. W3 LPL. Frank Donovan. Highlight all. Because he posted the link. Here it is. So you see, in the chat up there, 14155, somebody posted, oh, there it is. But this is somebody else chatting. He might not realize that's a thing. He may, probably does have cognizance on the chat, but it's not his responsibility for other people to say what his frequency is. You know? This isn't self-spotting. This is somebody else saying W2RE is on 14155. But he's just, for 10 hours, he's streaming and he's contesting just like a contest. It just grinded my gears to like see the outcry. But it also at the same time opened me up to some of the things like maybe, so at the beginning he did say, oh, you can look me up on the cluster, he did say he's on the bottom end of the band of 20 meters. Which is like kind of like, but like I don't think he's soliciting contacts. I don't think he's relaying QSOs. I think he's on a significant enough delay so that disincentivizes contesters to come in. There was a couple cases, I was just listening to this for a couple of like 30 or 40 minutes. There's a couple of cases where people say, love the stream, love the YouTube channel. And I'm like, well, I wonder if they made the contact with him. But who knows? There's no evidence. And honestly, Ray is the first person to really do this like mainstream, to really do this right. I've seen a lot of other streamers who have just kind of posted their screens up, but not really have had a community or a conversation with the people. This guy has literally on Facebook, this is the other thing, on the Remote Ham Radio Facebook page, gotten like millions of viewers over time, over his couple of months or years, maybe a year or so of streaming his contest and non-contest, DXing and operating remotely. But the other thing is he does kind of represent Remote Ham Radio. He's wearing the hat right there. He's Remote Ham Radio. This is on the Remote Ham Radio YouTube channel. There's some advertising going on here. It's bringing people to the Remote Ham Radio thing. But Ray is not advertising for Remote Ham Radio on air. He's doing it on the stream. People who contact him have no idea, generally, that he's on a Remote Ham Radio station. He might say he's remote in Maine, but he won't say, and he told me, he never says that I'm on Remote Ham Radio, remotehamradio.com, I'm on a stream, and basically because that would cause the pecuniary interest rule to come into effect. But he's very careful, I think. And he's opening the eyes into the future of ham radio, the future of contesting. I know! It's a stupid. 8 watching. You poor 8 people. I'm ranting because, like I said, well, there's all my emails if you wanted to see them. Actually, there's nothing really important there. Just everyone emailing me, hey, we're doing things for coronavirus to make our restaurant more healthy. Please come eat at our restaurant. Yeah, selling QSL cards worked me on my stream tonight. Jeez. QSL cards, $2 a piece. If you want them, got them here. You gotta work me $2. Like, yeah. So that's my rant. I'm done commenting on this social media and contesting. I've spun off some things like literally overnight. I think we're gonna start some youth radio committees that are going to integrate some sub contests and basically what I want to do to make all these old OMs in the most respectful sense of OM, because we're all OMs, is to get a bunch of people to compete in a contest as a check log, but break all the rules, like self-spotting, streaming, doing stupid stuff. It's all good because it's all up in the air, because you're just submitting a check log, meaning you're just submitting a log for the log people to check that you've made a correct contact. All the exchanges will be the same. It will be like a legitimate contact, but you'll be using things that are not allowed in the rules. such as self-spotting or other things. If streaming is illegal, then streaming. And do a bunch of crazy, stupid stuff, and get those people all together to score themselves on that even playing field of the new contesting 2.0 rules, if you will. That's kind of my master plan here that I grew out of this diatribe. So there's my rant. Full boomer mode 100%. Because I really like it. I think in 20 years, this is going to be the norm. I mean, in the current day, this is esports. Go to twitch.tv, and people are streaming their games, and guess what's a game? Contesting is a game. And it just makes sense for ham radio to integrate itself into this industry exactly how ham radio has integrated itself into the maker industry. And people are still saying, oh, we need to get into the maker industry, but we've already done that, and the maker industry has kind of like fizzled out, and it's just like we keep coming. They keep trying, but like now here's an opportunity. Get ham radio into Twitch, get contesting into the mainstream. There might be a chance that the mainstream, that the general public might get interested into this esoteric form of competition. I mean, people watch golf. Golf is boring. Fishing is boring. Like, but there are times where things get really exciting, especially at the end of tournaments and stuff. Like, it's really interesting to watch and listen. Actually, it's really interesting to listen to contesters talk about their stories, about their, and to now watch like things like CQ contest online scoreboard, to watch like the scores just kind of dolphining along like as they grow in points, right? So I don't know. There's not a live one right now, but like Stu Perry probably had a lot of. Stu Perry had nobody. What's a good one? Contests, supported contests. There we go. So like you can click on a station, look at their score, and this updates in real time, like every maybe 5 minutes or so, through N1MM, or this guy's using a different client. I think that's Winlog, or no, not Winlog, something like that. And on the other one, which is live contest scoreboard, I don't know why there's two, but there's two. Nope, it's this one. Go back. On this one, you can click somebody, and you can get these really simple graphs of like, what's going on. Let me find a real contest. Closed. How does this not count? I guess it's just an hour, or just a little bit of operating. But anyway, if it was a real score, you'd see this number going up, and over time, you see the score going up, and you can pick another call, and you can see. Let me see if I can get some. Yeah, well, that's not very competitive. This is ish. AA3B kicked K1RV's butt, but you can compare in real time like how these people are doing. And as a contester, you can go and see this too and say, oh man, this guy's just barely beating me. And in colleges, this was like a huge deal when we did the collegiate competition for sweepstakes and NAQP. Like, it drove us to insanity to try to get more contacts than W4AQL at W0EEE. But yeah, tie your audio, video into the stream. Do what he does. Commentary. While he's calling CQ, several points in here, he says things like,
Whiskey 2 Radio Echo.
I'm never going to find a point of where he actually does it.
100 Qs on 20 meters. 1100.
Here. He's telling the stream, like, what his QSO score is.
2 November again. Yeah, what's your whiskey? Out of key. India.
I probably already missed it.
Just single op, one radio, operating remote.
Yeah. So he's a voice keyer, and he will like add some commentary while the voice keyer is calling CQ to answer some of the chat. The remote operation interface is a remote ham radio, which is not cheap. for the really nice things. I'm an idiot. RemoteHamRadio.com. It's probably, I mean, you have this, and then you have remote hams, which is just like kind of old school. There's a client you can run, and it does this, but this is remote ham radio, where it's very modern. Lots of stations, 5 cents a minute, 9 cents a minute at 100 watts, you know, and it goes up and up and up. You get like 39 cents a minute for like a killer station like here in Whiskey 2. You know, they've got really good videos on all these stations too. Like they do their job well, and presumably it makes them a fair amount of money. And if you're a young person, you can enter a monthly drawing to blah blah blah, a chance to earn free subscription, 300 minutes of operating time for a month. There's old Marty. 25 years or younger, general class member of ARRL, experience. It's like you can apply for this and get free time on these remote radios. So it's pretty cool. Do you have broken fingers too?
I have broken cuticles.
Oh, yes. Justin is feeling the pain. Like when you're washing your hands so much, it breaks your hands apart. And she's got broken cuticles, and some hand sanitizer got in. And ooh, that's why I realized, ouch, things are hurting.
Should just wash my hands. I'm at home.
True. It's just right here, like the hand sanitizer. It's just so convenient. Why not? I also have a toothbrush, and I don't understand why. And 2 rolls of toilet paper, and the Yoda flag, which we're gonna keep trying to keep ourselves from not having to cancel the Yoda camp in July. Or June, rather. But who knows? We'll see how the coronavirus pans out in the summer. You need to let it easy to do that, something without something. So yeah, there's a learning process to get this set up. This is OBS, and this is like basically how you post whatever you're seeing on your screen into it. And the audio is another thing and all that stuff. So like, it is kind of a challenge. So somebody needs to come up with like an easy like plug-in or they call them scripts and profiles in OBS to get things set up to where it's like, oh, I know where N1MM is, and post that into a place, and let's move that back over there, and do this, that, and the other thing, right? So
Chucky's just chilling behind you.
Chucky's just chilling behind me. There he is. That boy over there.
Chuck.
Oh, and for streaming, make it happen. I'm not going to be the one to make it happen. I don't know how to. I actually set up a Minecraft server in like 10 minutes. I was surprised at myself, but that doesn't take any effort. I'm not good at actually doing things. I told this to somebody from that email stream earlier. Like, I'm really bad at doing things, and I find people who are really good at doing things. I have really good ideas, but I'm really bad at doing things, like getting like really big things done, like streaming scripts or like Yoda Camp. And I just kind of tout that idea, and so at some point somebody catches on, and just like that. Because the only thing I've really done is the the Young Amateurs Radio Club Youth Contesting Program, and I epically failed at that. It was basically all my work. You know, my fault it failed, but I only got like one paired group of young ham to a station. The idea was you have a station and you have a young ham, and they're a day's drive apart. The station and the young ham both apply for the program, and then they get paired up because they're this close. Now, imagine that over the entire United States and Canada, not Mexico because it was too hard because of border problems, but like U.S. and Canada for the ARRL area, and RAC. It's kind of weird that ARRL has sections in Canada, but whatever. Anyway, pair up these 2 operators, get them to operate, and make sure that the host station is legitimate and has a good station and is competitive, has not a big gun like K3LR style, but like something like where you might have a tower and a Yagi and an amp, like great contesting station. And a young ham who has some or a little bit of contesting experience, get them paired up so that the young ham can operate at a nice station because the young ham can't afford a nice station, like me, back in the day. And I only got one pairing, which was Patrick and the VOA museum station, because all the other pairings were too far spread out. Like there was just too much distance between the station and the operators, because I only had like 27 applicants overall, 17 operators and 10 stations, or maybe the other way around. So that, although it was like very like a good idea, people thought like, yes, keep it up. It was really hard to market it to like people who have stations, and also to market it to young hams who are willing to get out of their shell and go meet up with an old man, sometimes literally. And that is in itself kind of a huge challenge in the current time and day and time, current environment of the world. So it was hard. All right, Morse code. And over time, I think it might get better, but that's just an example of like, I really suck at doing things. I was a really good youth editor. Don't get me wrong. I'm a good blogger and a kind of okay YouTuber, but not a good program executor. I'm good at work, but I just push buttons and test antennas. Like, I haven't really come up with like groundbreaking things. I don't have any patents or whatnot. I'm just a lowly scientist, or researcher, if you will. So, all right. Dot it. I got really good on that one. I had a streak going until the end. Like, I started thinking about more stupid stuff. My video is ahead of the audio. How can that be? How can that be? I'm actually check that out. I'm the best typer. I'm way better at typing when I'm not streaming. That's fine. What are you talking about? Maybe it just was glitched out for a second. Way ahead. It's not way ahead. You just see that? See, watch. Way ahead. It's not way ahead. You just see that? See, watch. Way ahead. It's not way ahead. You just see that? I don't know what you're seeing. Reload the page, Josh. I'm gonna laugh at this now. What you're seeing. Is it? It's not. You're not watching on Twitch, so that should be fine too. Ah no, my QSOs. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Terrible. So I think I made a mistake in when I changed this to 25. I didn't change the 8 down to 0 because my CW Academy advisor said you probably want to get your code speed up to 25 words per minute as quick as you can, either gradually or all at once. And I was like, all right, I'll do it all at once. But I just went from 20 to 25 at the same words per minute. So one beepy boy wins every time. Let me drop this down to 5. Let's see how I do. I'm probably coming out of the Balmer Peak. That's the real explanation why I'm suffering. Aw.
You look at her.
Yeah. See, 100%, 4.8% errors. So yeah, not as bad by a long shot. So then theoretically I can go to 6 words per minute. Get a little worse and see how it goes. Wow, I'm actually doing CW instead of ranting. Not as good, but not because the speed was faster. It's just because my head was like, my mind was running around all over the place thinking, I need another beer. And the fact that my cat is so cute on Justin's lap. My cat. Meow.
Look at my cat being cute back there.
Aww. Look at him. Can't see them. I can't tilt this chair back. Does it do this? Meow.
His little paws are like, bleh. Her paws are in my leg.
I kind of want to do some code practice sending. So what we're going to do with that is going to attach this clippy boy to this zappy boy. I don't know if you saw some zaps there. Turn this 7300 boy on boy. Attach this, hang on. Where's the cable for it?
I'm going downstairs.
Oh.
Abby, get off me.
Attach this beepy thing to the
It's too cold up here.
USB thing that, bye. Oh, I guess I could close the window. Beepy thing into the puddle. It's already going to town. Oh. Fixed it. I broke it. What happened? It's still flashing on here. Is it on straight? No, it's not on straight keyboard. Heck! Comments are hidden. Comments are hidden. Don't know what it means, but comments are hidden. It's probably because I'm a noob at Twitch and I don't have like subscribers or something like that. If you're talking to me from Twitch. Actually, the K1EO win keyer just saved the radio from a runaway key situation, but I don't know why it's doing this. The key, like what? Pedal, like it's still going crazy when I unconnect the key, connect the key, and the leads aren't even attached except for the ground lead. See, they're not even attached. Plug it in. Something is gone cattywampus. It's very angry. If I plug it back into the port or the QRP guy's pedal, it's doing the same thing. What the heck? Surgery time. That is not like, you definitely can't see that, but they're not touching. Maybe they are touching. But this would mean the tip would be contacting the ground, causing it to forever. I have my multimeter up here. I don't know. I took it apart and I put it back together, and now it's fixed. Red goes on right. And this thing, I need to change these to spade lugs. Not spade lugs, fork lugs, whatever they're called. Not these ring nuts, ring lugs, ring terminals. Beautiful. All right, iambic master. Everything. Boop. And start. I'm gonna do it 20 words per minute. Yeah, you can hear that. What is 6? K6LR. I didn't have enough space. That's 9. Dude, I want to go faster. I feel slow. 23. Yeah, that was 7. Good job. Up. Nope. Oh well. Missed it by just that much. Damn it. Damn it. Now work live QSOs. This is how bad it'll be. Yeah. That was a CW rendition of Darude Sandstorm. Turn my volume off on the radio and work you through the stream. Do it. That's exactly what we're doing here. Play Sandstorm. I already got you, man. That's literally how I learned the number 4. Because it was Radio Oklahoma here in the chat, or maybe, I don't know if he's here anymore, who said, that sounds like Sandstorm. And I was like, you're right. And then I tried to do like a pitch adjustment on the radio at the same time. I can't do it. It's too hard. I need to change my hands. You show what I'm trying to do here. There's like an acceleration in the knob. Because like if I go, whap, it goes right to 900, but if I go very slowly, it doesn't go as fast. There's acceleration in that, so I need to like, I'm gonna do this. Fuck, I'm done. This is stupid. Damn it. How do people like learn the finesse of an iambic paddle? That is something cannot be taught without an Elmer. Like this is something you have to learn on your own, or an Elmer teaches you like, you know, you got the slapping like where you're throwing the thing around, or you have like the light toucher, or you have somebody who isn't less crazy, you know, doing a normal. And like, where do you put your fingers? Do you put them like one on the bottom, this one on the top, or in the middle, or whatever feels comfortable? You know, it's like, nobody's taught me that, you know. Why did that do that? For crying out loud. Somebody tell me how to make a better setup than this garbage. Dang it! How do you learn what? pretty sure I spoke English unless I was speaking Morse code. Was it the how do I learn how to do the paddle, like the thing, or how do I set up my video presentation without it looking like entire garbage? It was, I don't know. But yeah, how do you learn how to use the paddle? Like, I just learned by watching people on YouTube, and they go like this. But, oh, iambic. Sorry. There's this thing called iambic pentameter. You might have learned in literature arts, and it's a rhythm thing. It's the way that a poem is spoken. When I do count the clock that tells the time, to swell the gourd and plump the hazel shells. Like, there's a pentameter. Like, there's the scansion, what is ictic symbols? But now is the winter of our discontent. A mote it is to trouble the mind's eye. I don't know. To be or not to be, that is the question. That is the to be or to not to be is like the penultimate, the what is iambic pentameter? It is to be or not to be. That is the question. There's a timing in the actual speaking of the syllables. Iambic is timing, and so there's this thing called the iambic key, which is, I don't know where I was going with this. Basically, you push this for dits, or DAWs. You push this side for dits. You push them both to get alternating, and what it saves you is a hell of a lot of. Let me go get my straight key real quick to kind of demonstrate. And so anyway, what it ultimately saves you in this mode is a whole lot of carpal tunnel, basically. Because here's a straight key. It just goes like boop, 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 boop. You see the contact in there? I wonder if I could hook it up without damaging everything on my table. Goes in there. And it only has 2 contacts, right? For fuck's sakes. This is going to make me lose these brass nuts somehow. So if I had wire cutters at my desk, I would literally change this out right now. I'll just cut a strip in these ring terminals. Hi, Mom. If my mom watched this, she would be so proud. I'm really in the limelight now. Got 10 viewers. This is my all-time maximum viewers. Thanks, Josh. Oh, I put in the wrong one, I think. Ugh. They're all wrong. Okay, has to be green and black, and green and brown, rather. Get in there! Okay. Straight key. All it is a switch. You go for a DAW. And to make DAWs and dits, and I have to hold it down pretty tightly. Right? So, nope. What's Q? That is to be or to be. That is the question. That's how you make Morse code with a straight key. If you want to do it really fast, you can see over time that my wrist is already hurting and it's literally falling apart at the seams. The reason why iambic paddles were created is because this is hard and it takes a toll on your wrist, and people wanted to do Morse code faster. And so they created the paddle. And this thing's going away now. Probably to come back for next stream to re-demonstrate what a straight key is, because that's what we do when we learn Morse code. Going on 11 hours. The two different tones are weird. The two different tones. You mean like the what do you mean by two different tones? Like frequency or the way it sounds? Because yes, when you're using an iambic or when you're using a straight key, your hand has to make the timing perfect, or else it sounds like really bad. And people can't decode it. And if you look at the high ends of the band, or whenever there's a straight key Century Club night at SKCC night, which is like most every night, I think, at least every other night, you'll hear people like with really long like da 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 da, like because they don't have the perfect 1-to-3 ratio. So it sounds, and then you can actually do a straight key with an iambic paddle, but it's just one side connects to the radio. And you'll get people who sound like they don't have that that timing done perfectly, but that is what they call character. Or in the jazz world, that's what you call swing. But when you throw in a paddle, and why is it doing the thing again? Holy fucking bullshit. Why? What are you touching? There we go. Nope, that's just run away. There we go. I don't know, it's just weird. So now with an iambic paddle, this is the only move you need to make the same thing. And it gives you perfect timing. It is almost computational because there is a microprocessor in here like this one. It's a PIC 32 or PIC 16 microprocessor. And it saves you so much fatigue, and it lets you go way faster. Let me change the speed real quick on iambic master and show you what kind of stuff I got. 33 is like a good DX or thing. Dang it. It's so hard. But that's what an iambic paddle gives you. If you try to do that on a straight key, you are a god among men, and your wrist is probably going to turn into a pineapple after the end of that. But it's super easy to do at really fast speeds. You can even go faster. High-speed telegraphy, they do 50 words per minute. I don't even know. I can't do that fast. I'm just making gibberish. But there are people who can do that, and that's actually kind of a sub hobby within the, not even the amateur radio hobby. That's just, what is going on? I need to make a new cable. Is what I need to do. That's it. We're done. Done with you. Turn you off. Yeah, so any more questions out there? I have 11, which is now an all-time maximum yet again. before I go drink more Corona and weather the coronavirus with Morse code. Some parting words. N0SSC.com is my stupid blog where I make stupid clickbait titles and tell the OMs out there that they're going to die if they catch coronavirus. If you're generally over the age of 80 is where like the percentage of coronavirus's death rate is like pretty scary. But it goes up after age 49. And I also say how to not get that and how to not spread it to people. And this, that, and the other thing. And also there's my CW Challenge update and my favorite, Millennials Are Killing Ham Radio, which I wrote like 4 years ago. I wrote it in 2017. Holy cow. And this is still getting a lot of like talk because it's a super clickbaity, iconic like thing. Millennials are killing X, and I actually have some good points. Like, what is going to happen in the next couple of years? Like, what are the hams doing now that they think is great, but like isn't really that great? What are the next big things? Hackathons. That's the thing we haven't done is hackathons. We don't have software engineers being maybe even paid. Like, get the AWRL Foundation or Yasmi, these people who have a buku cash to give out to hams, give these kids a bunch of money to make ham radio software to do random things like make Logbook of the World better, or make a logger that does this, or make a real-time integration with live contesting scores or something like that. Am I going to start live streaming HF contests? Absolutely. 100%. I wish I could more, but the place where I have my most accessible HF station, which isn't my home because I don't have any antennas at home, and if I do put an antenna up, it's just pure noise because I live 2 feet from 1,000 other houses. Not an HOA or anything, so I could put a tower up in my backyard, but I'm not that kind of guy. I have a really small backyard anyway. It's just that everyone has noisy appliances. Even I have noisy LED bulbs, but my company shack, Whiskey Zero Mike Alpha, has a really, really nice station, but because of the company laws and regulations, they don't let me do any filming unless I have a permit, which I don't want to bother with. But if I'm ever at W0EEE, or if I'm at N0AX's place, or even if I'm here in the backyard or up at the park and I have enough data to stream, then I'll do that for sure. I am a bad I'm a good contester. Like, I will keep a rate for 200 up for an hour on a single sideband contest. But I'm never contesting myself. It was back in college when I did that. So, and I really want to bring this new idea of not even just live stream. Like, live streaming ham radio contest is like step one, but where I'm thinking is 4 steps ahead of that. Like, look at esports right now, where we have a bunch of different teams remotely, or even at the same place, but mostly remotely, with video feeds coming in on an unpublished stream. So like, people won't be able to access those streams because honestly they're boring. They're just people like staring at their computers, twiddling knobs and pushing down buttons and call signs and doing stuff like that. God, I burp a lot. I want to take those streams and be able to go stream one. Oh, we have K3LR. It looks like his team is about 2,000 points behind the current leader. What is their strategy they're going to use to beat that when the sun comes up? Well, the sun is coming up, and that's going to mean that Japan's going to come through the gray line, and they're going to be able to get a lot more contacts on that gray line thing. But the other guys, as you see, they're already in midday, so they're just going to have to deal with the north-south propagation. When the gray line comes over in K3LR, that's going to be an instant boost of at least 200 points, at least like 5-6 multipliers coming from Region 3, right? Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, I'm just like flowing this off of the top of my head, and I'm just so excited for the idea of being a commentator for contesting. Like, it's giving me water in my eyes. That'll be interesting to watch. I don't care if it's 100 people watching it, 1,000 or 5. Like, I just have this idea of fun. Like, I think it will be a really fun idea. I'm not even in it. There's no money in ham radio. So like, I just think it would be really fun to get ham radio injected into kind of this mainstream thing. This is 20 years at this point, 20-year-old technology of streaming games. But like, why don't we put ourselves in that position to have an opportunity to integrate with the modern society of gaming? Because contesting is a game. I don't care what you say. Whew, calm down. Contesting is a game. I don't care what you say. And it should be streamed. I feel it's not like it's not like people are going to change their ways. Like, it's that ham radio contesters are going to do this. The current contesters are not going to do this. The people who have been contesting for many decades and they love the way it is right now are very, very unwilling to change or conform to this new society, to these new ideas. And that's fine. I'm all aboard with that. Like in this, it's like, no, ham radio is not dying as it is right now, but over the next couple of generations, over the next couple of decades, things are really going to start changing, and traditional ham radio is going to be strained because those operators are going to start dwindling, and hopefully not because of coronavirus, just because of natural causes, right? And things are going to get different, and this is one of those things that I've been talking about for a stupid long time. I probably could bust her up, but I need more alcohol to do that before. It is really hard. So on Radio Oklahoma's point, it's hard. Why is my chat not on? I'm so dumb. It is really hard to get into those ham circles. I am privileged because I don't really know. So I started out at the WA0FYA. Do they still have the old clubhouse? A0FYA. Zero Beaters Amateur Radio Club. They got rid of their entire QRZ page, I see. So that sucks. But they had this little bank building. Ah, here it is. Did I take this picture? Ah, yes, this is my picture. And that is me, by the way. That's my maiden name down there. But this was it. This was their little club station. It was the cutest little thing in Dutzow, Missouri, a little tiny town off the river. This is my old Flickr. Oh, I don't know if I have any pictures on the inside. I don't think I do. And I would go down here for meetings, and it'd be a bunch of old guys, but they were very welcoming, and I got to operate the station, and they gave me my first HF rig, and they let me operate in field day, and I ran QSOs like nobody's business on the first time I ever like contested. I was just a natural, because it just made sense to me. I played video games, and I understood how things work. I didn't understand how radio works, but I knew you click this button, voice comes out. You talk into this, and the voice comes out there, and you tell them to that you are Missouri, your call sign, your number, the grid, whatever the exchange is, and then you get those and you type them in. And I'm a fast typer because that's what we learned in fifth or as a 5-year-old, we would do typing. But so I did that, and I got into this stream of ham radio consciousness. I found out my college has a ham radio club, W0EEE, and I found out, guess who went to that college is N0AX, Ward Silver, who wrote Ham Radio for Dummies. And through a myriad of emails and correspondence, and somehow he becomes my Elmer, basically, and we drive to Hamvention, and then I become the ARRL youth editor. A little bit of time passed between then, but I started writing for the ARRL in terms of youth ham radio. And if you go to my blog, youth@hamradio.fun was the article or the column title. It's no longer being written because Christine Keene, the old news editor, left the ARRL, and they had to trim three of these things, and 3 of the columns, and mine was one of them, which is really sad because I wrote like a boss. Like, you need to go back and read these things. How do you get colleges on the air? Like, there it is. That's how Collegiate Amateur Radio Initiative was started. How do you, even this one? So I've been actually referring to, I need to get back to it, Dayton on Radar, my second to last column of the ARRL Youth in the Second Century Committee, which we started. Kay Craigie in 3KN, the old former ARRL president, started to advance youth and ham radio through the ARRL. I was hitting the pipe. I'm not gonna lie. I will boast all day long about my youth editorship, But that eventually went away, but that's how I got in. Like I got a name for myself. I been making YouTube videos forever. My real advice is to inject yourself into the club, and once you do that, make a name for yourself, show that you have some skills, go contesting or do some kind of incom ops or public service, then you'll gain respect. And it's just like anybody. It's not about age or anything. It's human respect and how other people know what skills you have and what capabilities you have and your personality and that sort of stuff. What are we talking about? Dude, I'm talking about Pulp Fiction. I don't know about you. But at the same time, it is really hard. And what you can do to find people of your own age is go to yark.world. Oh, wait, there's a problem. We're actually trying to fix this because we figured it all out. We created a new server. We had, if you read this, I won't get into it, but there was a problem with the board and a coup d'etat and yada, yada, yada. But now the original board is back and they're operating a new Discord server and it's all good. And if you go here, there it is, called the Fishbowl. But Yark is full of hundreds of thousands, hundreds, mostly hundreds. I think hundreds is a better term because they're active, but there were thousands of people, young hams in it, but not really active. There are actually 200 registered members. And they're all very young. And so if you go there, you can find people your age. And it's not just, it's like people like me, people who are like as low as, I think, 14, 15, 16 in high school, in early stages of college, and, you know, as young professionals, yuppies and whatnot. We even have Ed occasionally shows up and he's, I don't know, 80 something. So there's no age restriction or anything. It's young people in ham radio, and it's kind of where I get a lot of these ideas. And don't be afraid by the problematic interim message. This is going to be changed soon, and everything will be back to normal. It'll take it's been taking a while to kind of like it's a real club. Like there's a board, there's a functionality, there's rules, there's regulations, there's a processes, it's legit, and you can even get involved in this kind of organization. And it is literally, I told these guys, like, once we got through this, like, the pandemic of the coup d'etat and like overhauling the server, or somebody else overtaking the server who shouldn't have, that this conflict resolution might be really good resume material, which it honestly is. Like, if you haven't done this before, we definitely mitigated a lot of conflict in that little situation. But anyway, I digress. Yark is still a really great club to join if you're a young person. There's also other clubs like Yacht, but Yacht is predominantly ran by, what am I doing? Yacht Hams. Yacht is ran by a few older folk. What's his name? Ed, KGHCX. But it is also a lot of young people who get on nets. There's no Facebook. There's a Facebook page, but there's no, would you say, like a chat. There's no, the young people don't really connect outside of the on the air nets. As far as I know, I might be wrong in that. I might not have been invited to it or whatever, but from what I can tell from the links on here, there's nothing that says, you know, hey, go here for the conversation or anything, which is where kids are nowadays. So there's my soapbox. Let's do one more and I'm done. Da-da-da-da-da. I've done better. Okay. Oh well, 12. Wow, I'm so happy. I'm famous now. It's very good. Thank you all for hanging out and chatting with me and listening to my unhinged rants about next generation ham radio today, and a little bit about the coronavirus and a little bit about Morse code. So I really appreciate it. I had fun like I do every night, and this is why I do it. And hopefully we can grow into competing with Josh's channel. Not really. No competition there. And I really don't mean to compete. Honestly, we're doing the thing where we cooperate, and we cooperate is the right word. We do streams together, and we're definitely thinking of doing stuff. And Darude Sandstorm, doing more stuff together. Josh keeps sending me these dumb ideas to do videos, and then that's what happens. I do have a video where I've been watching YouTubers, and my idea is to imitate other YouTubers like Davey504, who's like a bassist, but he has this like very stoic attitude, and he's like, "Hello, slappers," and I don't know. I'll have to like play with it, but I have a really nice camera now. My coworker basically gave it to me. I'm waiting to send him a check. It's a G1X with a flippy like thing that does this. The only problem with it is if I open it, it does that, and it doesn't get very happy. And this is lens error. So I have to clean these out a little more. If I hold them open, it'll come open just fine. And it is full HD, 30 frames per second. Looks really, really nice. Has a good depth of field. Pretty nice zoom. The one thing I really hate about these point-and-shoot cameras is when you are recording video, the zoom is so slow. Like there I am trying to zoom in because it's trying to be quiet, or else it'll appear over it'll be heard over the speakers. There's also no external audio input, but that's okay. It's a really nice camera that I got for free. Basically, my coworker said he was literally just going to throw this away. It's a pristine G1X minus the lens shield, and I use it at Disney World, and it blew the iPhone out of the water. And I'm trying to learn how to do aperture and shutter speed and framing, golden ratio, zooming, golden hour, golden everything, that sort of stuff, to try to make a good video. I don't have a tripod, so like if I try to set it up here, at the operating station, it's just like not going to work. So I need to get a tripod and do stuff. And also make my face look prettier because I'm not a very pretty person. I have these old man spots like here and here, which are not cancer, think, for crying out loud. And I got a haircut at Disney World, but like they messed it up, and like this part is all kind of goofy. I don't know. So, all right, enough talking about myself. If you guys want to hang out more, let me know. If you want to check out my website, N0SSC.com. If you want to email me, sterling@N0SSC.com. Tweet me at N0SSC. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok at Coffee, Kawfey. Yeah, haircut at Disney World. It was only $19, and I was like, I really need a haircut for all these pictures because my hair was just grizzly, and I was turning into a Wookiee. And it was only $19, and the guy who did it was super hilarious. Like, I mean, the cast members at Disney World are silly, and they do it normally for first, like, kids and babies will get their first haircut there, and they were like, "Is this your first haircut?" I was like, "What?" It's funny. I'm excited for your Raspberry Pi script work, not work, but it's KM4ACK's work, but I'm excited to see how you work with it. I have 4 Raspberry Pis laying down in my basement that I've done various things with over the years, but don't really have anything going on with them right now. You done there, little camera? This one I got for $10 at a Hamfest. And the one I have on there is Logitech HD 1080p with a floppy down like privacy screen. Boop. It's just a cheapy webcam. So, yeah, all right, I'm done. Catch me on the flip side. I'll probably be streaming tomorrow because all my friends, even my friends, canceled our parties, and there's like 12 people, so we're gonna be staying inside. Please don't go. I think I have it. Please don't go. I need halal. I might have Might have what? Might have corona. Think I have it. Please don't go. Please, I need hello papa. That's a very interesting username. Well, here's my suggestion. Go get tested at your nearest government testing facility. And if you have a fever of at least 104, or not 104, 100.4, and you have a cough and you have shortness of breath, then you probably have it. And you should stay at home and not go anywhere, and use cold medicine to get better, and you'll get better. Just don't give it to anybody. And no legs. What is going on in the chat? Yeah, your host. Your videos helped me get my tech back in June and general last Sunday. I think you're talking to Josh there. Going on my wheelchair. Well, at least you have a wheelchair. Thank goodness. Don't sneeze on the apples. That's bad. Although people don't get coronavirus by ingesting through their stomach, but when they hold the apple and then they touch their face, that's when they get coronavirus. It's not funny. All right. Chat is gone off the deep end, so this is my time to say sayonara. And I'll see you probably tomorrow and probably Sunday, probably Monday, and probably the next day. 73. And take it easy. And don't get coronavirus. Bye, y'all.